Recently, I hit my biggest trade where I turned $800 into $54,000 in just 3 days. I've had trades pretty similar to this in size, but this is definitely the biggest. So for free, I'm going to tell you guys everything that I did to identify this trade and how I traded it. If you watch this video and you miss the next one, that is just on you. Alright, so the stock that I chose for this was NVIDIA. I didn't just pick a random stock. The reason that I chose this is because at the time, the sector was leading the market, and this was leading the sector. So to identify a leading sector, it's actually pretty easy. I have a whole sector scan here. I just click on each sector, look at the chart. You can see this one doesn't really look too strong. This one looks, relatively strong. This one, kind of shit, kind of shit, kind of shit. Not bad, actually. This one's also not too bad, but it's just kind of chilling up here. This one's decent. You can see right now that energy is just the clear leader. If you look at all the other sectors that we just went through, this one is clearly going up the most recently. And then at the time, tech was going straight up, but now it's kind of coming down. So with tech being the leading sector in this period, it was just going straight up while all other sectors were kind of like sideways or going down. What I did here was then looked for the stock that was up the most on the most volume and was a semi-large cap. So if I don't use my scan, this just comes up with 1,047 stocks. And then if I click this filter box, which adds my scan, this brings me 52. So that way it'll show me the ones that are up the most. I'm looking for the top 2% of stocks. Now you can see that Dell came up on this list. So this has recently made a pretty big move up and then gapped up on earnings and is now holding it up here. The sector currently isn't that good, so it's not really something that I would look at. But down here, you can see that there was a bit of a setup, and then this made a pretty big move. So at the time, that's basically what I did. I looked through the tech sector because it looked really good, and then I looked for the strongest stock in the tech sector, and then I waited for it to set up. Now, I can tell that this stock is very strong because it recently made a big move. It's up like 200% in the last 6 months. So for a large cap, that is a pretty big move. And not only was it up a lot right here, but then it gapped up on good earnings. So it beat expectations by a lot and created like a 24% gap. Large caps typically don't see gaps like that. So that's a really big earnings beat. After that earnings beat, what the stock did was it went sideways, pulled to the 10 moving average right here, and gave us this setup. So this one I actually missed out on, but you can see here that, after this big move up, and it's been strong for a super long time, it pulls back to the 10 moving average right here. This is the daily chart, by the way. And before the 20 even catches up, it just breaks out. So typically what you'll notice right before a breakout is that the candles get pretty thin. And the main thing that I look for is basically just big move up, goes sideways, holds the moving average